Hi guys, today I want to talk about how to create a professional Google form, which is really very useful in your life. If you want to have a form for any purpose, it's really good to start using Google form. To start with this one, start to write down in the search box of the Google form for Google Forms. And then you will come to this screen, which will ask you to sign in process for Google Form. You can go and then sign in for Google Form. Here they will ask you in this screen to create a new. They give you some examples here, but just we'll go for that one. A new form. And here is the screen how to create the first form for you. So this is the default. It's a title here. You can, for example, call this title like a quote price. Let's say, for example, a quote price. It's all example. And then you have, if you would like to have some description for the form, you can write down, for example, this form is show what are our services, for example. And then here, if you want to save the form, actually it's saved automatically in the drive, in the Google Drive. It's saved by itself automatically, but it's better to have a name. So if you click here, it will take the same name you already put for the title, for the section. So now it's saved under the quote. If you want to make sure it's saved, you can come here and then you can open the Google Drive associated with this account. You can go here and then go for the drive. So you can find the form is saved automatically in your drive. Okay, let's go back for the form. So for the form now, to create the form, you have here this menu. You can add a question like that. Once you click here, automatically it will add a new section. And based on the things you like, you can decide it. What type of option do you want to have? For example, do you want your question to have a multiple choices? Or do you want to have checkbox or drop down? Or for example, short answer or paragraph, which is long answer, or if you would like other menu here. So let's say, for example, our first thing should be the name. You have to put your name, which will be short answer, and then we can say a name. Put your name, and then here the person will put their name here. So here I can mark it as required. Required, it will have like a star, which is mean you have to fill this one. It's compulsory to fill this field. Okay, so until now we have finished the first one, and then we can make another one, or we can copy the same one. If you'd like, you can make a new one, or you can copy the same one. So we can do, here is the name. We can do, for example, email, your email. Again, it can be a short answer, but before you go for the email, there is some restriction. You can go here and do response validation. So from here, they will tell you, do you want the email to be a number? So when the people input, do you want the people to input numbers? Of course, no, because the email contains everything like text and characters. So in this case, because the email contains a text, so I will tell it should be a text. And then this text contain, for example, email address. And that's it. You can add also a custom error text. If the person add another or a wrong email or anything wrong, you can, for example, tell the person to put, please, for example, write a correct email. And also you can check for this field again, the same one. You can click here and then go for the response, the validation, and make sure it's, see, the name is number, it's wrong. The name should be again a text, and then it's actually a text. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. And then after we finish, now we finish the first field, the name, the email, and then again we can copy another one. But actually when you copy another one, that's mean you will create the same criteria you have done here, which is mean this will be text and it will be email. If I want to make a phone number, in this case it will be text, which is wrong. So I have to change it into a number. So it can be a number. Is a number. Yeah, so we finish now the first three fields, name, email, and phone number. And after that, for example, if you have a quote price, after you put your details, maybe you need to show what's our services. We can make another section now to make it more clear. You can go here and then add a section. So that's the first section. It's like your personal details. And then the second section, which will contain, actually this one is wrong. We have to delete this one. Yeah. So the second one, we can call it, for example, our services. Okay. So this section now will show our services. All right, guys. If you want to run the form or to make the form, if you want, to preview what the form look like, you can click on this eye, and then you will see what the label will look like. So this form is show our services, and then you have the name, you have the email, and then you have the phone number. Once you input this information, you will go for next step. You go to the next step, and then it's still empty. Okay, so we stop the preview, and then we go back for the first step, which is here. So now we start to make section 2. Section 2, we can start to do the surfaces, which we have done. For example, we can add the first surface. Let's say, for example, design. It will be our first surface. And then I can have the multiple choices. What surface of design they want? They want a logo, for example. And then I will add another option. They want to have the second option, for example, cards or business cards, for example. The third option, I can say, for example, websites. So that's enough, and then I can do other. So now I have 4 options of the design surfaces. Okay, and I can make it also required. I can do multiple choice. I can do checkbox or drop down. If I do checkbox, it will be like that. If I do a drop down, it will be like that one. You can see the preview. If you go to preview and see. Okay. And before that, just let's see what would happen here. So after we finish now, the user will start to prompt to choose, for example, that one. And then to make your design or your form is more clear, we can do another section. We can add another section here. This section, I will call it, for example, logo. Okay. So once the user click on the logo, it should come to this section. And then I will put another section for business card. Once the user click on the business card, it will go for the business card. So if the user click on the logo, it should go, for example, to the logo section. Okay. It's from here. You can go selection based on the answer. So now, if the user select logo, then I will prompt the user to go to the next section, which is section number 3. And then I will start here to go to logo. For example, I can add a question for the logo. I can, for example, tell the user what type of logo you want to design, for example, that one. And then it should, I think it should be like maybe a checkbox can make a sense for this answer, for this question. So I can say, for example, normal logo, or I can do like monogram logo, or other, for example. So now I ask the user to put 3 types of logo, and then I can go here and add another section, another question. What color? What colors you prefer? And then again, I can go and maybe for again checkbox. It can make a sense maybe, because it's like color. I can't make a restriction, so I can do a red, I can do a green, you can do a blue. So you can do any colors you like for your logo. Black and white, for example, and other maybe. So now just we have done these questions, and then I'm going to go for the next question. So I can make required, of course. Make all these questions is a required questions. The user should answer the question, and then we'll add a new question. What else we have to do actually? After the color, after the type, maybe you can ask the user to tell us, for example, do you have a previous, for example, do you have a previous logo? And then maybe you can say yes or no. Session, for example, add all, yes or no. So if the user answer yes, I have a logo, and then we can add something like a file here. It should be here, something to add a file here, for example. Yeah, file upload. So we'll ask the user to upload a file from their computer. For example, if you answer yes, please upload the file here. And then I can tell how many files. I can make up to 10, and then the size, and then you can also change the type, the format, what type you would like to have. I will do, for example, PDF because it's more safe. Image, maybe drawing, and I think, yeah, that's enough for the photo. And as we can see, this section became after this section, so you have flexibility if you want to move the sections over one like that. So you can make this one before, or you can make that one after. So it's very flexible to do that. So, and then after we finish that section, we can go and add another section. So this section actually, it will be for the second surface. We start to do section for logo. Second one, it will be for business card. So we'll go down and then add a section. I don't know why the section is coming here. It shouldn't be like that. This section actually, this one should be up, and that one again should be up. So Yeah, okay. So now we are ready. Section 4, it will be for business card. And then here again, we can do the same process. We can start to do a new question. What type of card you prefer? And then we can, for example, have a checkbox, or maybe because it's some things like it will be better. For example, normal style, or we can do another option, for example, vertical style. So now we have two style only, this one or this one. And then we can have another question, for example, what the colors you prefer again, and then we can do a list of color, the same one, for example, red, blue, green, and so on and so on. And then, for example, I think that's enough for this section. After we finish, we can add another section, which will be the last one for the surfaces, which is now should be the website. And then we can add another question here, like how many pages do you want to design, for example. And then we can ask the user here to make maybe a checkbox, maybe again, or maybe it's better to be a drop down. So we can first see 5 pages, and then we can say, for example, 8. Five pages, you can see here 8 pages, 10 pages or above. Okay, so now we have done this one, for example. So now we have done 3 sections. As I said before, if the user select the logo, then the user should go to section number 3, which is the logo. If the user select a business card, then the user should go to section number 4, which is belong to business card. If the user go to website, then user should go to section number 5. By doing so, we control the user. But at the end, we have to add another section which will try to collect all the other sections. So we can do another section here. I don't know, for some reason the sections is going up. This one, see, the section, it goes up. I don't know why. It should go down actually. So we can move the section. We can move it. This one, it's untitled. We can pull it until to be the last one. Save. So now it goes down. So this is the last section, untitled. We can call it, for example, more information, for example, and then we can add here some question. For example, when do you want the order or the request to be ready? When do you want the request to be ready? In this case, I will do a date. It will be a date. So the user have to put a date. Another question, for example, what is your budget? What's your budget, for example, which is very important. I will make it required. And then the user should answer with short answer. And then finally you can have another question. Do you want to tell us more information about your request? And then we can go for long answer, which is a paragraph. So the user have the ability now to write down as much as they can to explain what they want. And then another question, we can say, for example, how did you hear about us? And then you can have option, multiple choice, like, for example, social media, and for example, email, word of mouth, and so on. You can do. So by doing so, we finish now the form. But before we finish, actually, we have to tell each section to go to the last option. How is that? Once we go to this surface, if the user select the logo, it will prompt to go to logo. If the user select business card, it will prompt to go to business card, and so on. But once the user be in this area, I have to tell at the end of the form here, the user to go to the last section, which is more information. Again, the same one. If the user come to the business card, I have to ask him to go again to the more information. Again, for the website, if the user coming here, I will tell the user to go to the more information, which is the last section for every choices. So now I have joined all the forms together, and now everything should be okay. Now another things, if you want to add a photo image, for example, for your form, I can come here and then add an image. For example, let's add any image from here. Let's add this image, maybe. You can add your logo for your business. You can add anything related to your business, which is good actually. No, where is, oh, so the photo is coming here. The photo, it should be up, not here actually. So I have to push it up again. Align center, we can say. And then I will ask or start to pull the photo. So you have to pull the photo until you get up to the beginning here. Let's see now, it's a quotation. I can make it smaller, like that. So it doesn't take a big space. For example, this one, yeah. Or rather, just I can have a logo of my channel, which is actually, oh, it's another one. I can change the image and then again browse. So let's go for the channel itself here. It will be much better, yeah. Yeah, so it's now like official one. Yeah, see now? We can have this option, align center. And of course, if you have your own logo, it will be smaller than this one. So now you have the quote, and then you have the logo. And now all the information are ready to go for your form. And the form actually is already saved in the drive. As I said here, in your Google Drive, it's already saved, the form, automatically. And finally, if you want to see how the form look like, you can go here and preview. So that's what the form is look like for the user. So once the user start to open the form, it can come to them like that. Another things also, if you want to do here, you have options here, which is really good. But before the options, you can change the theme, the color of the form. You can go for orange, green, yellow, any color you prefer to do for your form. For example, let's do blue. And then for the option, you can go here for the options. And then you have under the general, the most important option for this one, if you want the user to edit after submit. That means the user have the ability to submit what they have written. If you want them to do that, you can edit after submit. But usually it's not good to do that. And then limited to one response, that means only one person will have to write the form. So it's better to be open for everyone. The second option, presentation, which is very important. You can show the progress bar. You can show for the user that how the bar is look like. And then another one, if you want to have a response message, for example, thanks, we have received your request. So after that, you can have like some message for the user, and that's it. Here quiz is not that important, so the most important are this one. So you can do save the form. And also you have here some things from Google, which is add-on. If you want to add some things like add-on, this add-on actually you can have a lot of small apps. It's like store. So this store or marketplace, they have so many apps or add-on, so you can add to your form based on your request or based on your need. It's depend on what you need. You can go here to this menu and then you can find it here, add-on. And here you can add script. If you want to add some programming code, you can do it from here. And then finally, you can have a link, get a link from here. If you want the link, actually, once you finish, the user will ask you what's the link of the form. So you can tell them here is the link of the form. And then if you want now to finish everything, you can do send. Once you make a send, now you can send the form via email, or you can go here to this place, and this is the final link of the form. Here is the final link of our form. You can make it short by doing this one. So if I copy now this one, and then I paste in this place, and then click enter. Alright, so now that's what the form is look like after I start to paste the link on the browser, or once the user open the form, they will get that things. So I start to put some information here, my name, just my address, my email, and just phone number, which is not correct, but just it's like for experiment. And then I'll go for next. If I promote to the screen, they will ask me to select one of those options, logo or business card or website. If I select logo and then go for next, then I would go for this option which belong to logo section. I can say normal logo, for example, and then I can, do you have previous? I can say yes, I have previous one, and then I can go and upload the file from my device if I want. And then I will choose the color, for example, blue. And then if I select next, I should go to the last section. But let's try the other one. If I go back and then I select the business card, then that means it should take me to the business card section. If I select the website, then it should take me to the website section. So by doing so, you can make your form is more professional. Let's go again for the business card and then next. So I'm gonna select, for example, normal style and then blue, and then I will go for next. And as you can see here, the status bar, it can show you the progress bar, because I set up the progress bar to be appear here. I will go for next, and then it will take me to the last section, which I have to put the last information. When do you want to request the form to be ready? I can say, for example, it will be on the 12th, for example, of maybe April 2020, for example, or May 2020, for example. What's my budget? Let's say it's only, for example, 240, for example. And then you want to tell us more information about your request? I can say, for example, blah, blah, blah. You can write anything you prefer or you like to describe. And then here, finally, how did you hear about us? I can say social media and then submit. So once I do a submit, it will give me the message I have done before. Thank you, we have received your request. So now the request has been done. If I want to check if the request is coming, once you open the form, the original form, the design, you can see response. You have only now one response. So that's mean one of the user responds for the form or fill the form. So I can see the name, the email, the address, all the information. It can give you what the selection you have select. So it's like a good way to know what is your customers or user fill the form from here. And as I said again, if you go to this menu, the setting, the presentation, here you can set up the message after you submit the form. And here you can show the bar, the progress bar, as I show you. And if you want to have a link, show a link to submit to another response. So all this option actually is very useful to start to have your Google form. So it's really a professional way, an easy way to have your form. So again, if you want to have the link for your form, you can do a send, and then you can go to a link, and then you can short, for example, URL, and then you can copy that link. If you copy that link, and then you can paste this link to the email address, or you can put in the website so the people can see your form and then can see the response. But be careful, don't give the people this link, because this link is the design. This link here now is the design link, the link for your design. Always, when you want to give the form, you have to give them the preview mode. This one. That one, the preview mode. So to have the preview mode, either you can copy this link, which is long, or rather, you can go to send in the design mode, and then go to link, or you can also email from here if you want to email users. Go to link, and then copy the link, even just like shorten or like long one. Copy, and then paste in your email group, or for example in your Facebook page, or in a website or whatever. By doing this one, so you can have a very professional way of designing the Google form. So thank you for watching, guys. If you have any question, please write down a comment. Thanks for watching.